Minutes to death. 8 minutes to death. 8 minutes to death. 8 minutes to death. Stuffy room, I need some air or a fan. 20 blunts in rotation, fucking with Dion Span. Hey man, what's throwing the fish?
I guess when most people die, they have this tell my wife, tell my kids, I love them or say hello. I didn't have those type of thoughts in mind because I just didn't feel like it was the end for me. I just didn't think of that. I knew I was dying because I can feel my heartbeat going to the last, you know. I'm scratching the walls and beating on the hotel that I was at, you know, because initially how it happened, you know, for those who don't know, I have asthma, so I was on my way to a hotel room, and I have a breathing machine as well, you know, to control my asthma. So I was on the way to the hotel to set up my breathing treatment and take it. And when I checked in at the hotel, it was just obvious that this happened, because when you checking in at a hotel, it's just a coincidence that they give me the wrong key to the wrong door. Like when you checking in at a hotel, they have this on document that, okay, somebody is staying at this room and somebody is staying at this room. So he gave me a key to the room. So mind you, when I'm at the front desk, I'm already short of breath because I'm trying to make it to, you know, see the, you know, use my breathing treatment. So as I'm going upstairs and I got my breathing treatment in hand and my inhalers and everything, I'm using it as I'm going up the elevator and, you know, running short of breath. I try to go inside, use my key to, you know, check into the hotel. And you know how when you at certain hotels, people, they put their latch on the door. So as they closed the door back, because I was trying to actually burst through the door like, yo, I need help. And they was like, you know, you got the wrong room. And I was like banging on the door like, yo, I need help. You know, I need help. I can't breathe. I got asthma. So I was, you know, holding my machine and my inhalers and stuff that I had in my hand up to the peephole. And as I was holding up to the peephole, I heard a little girl say, I guess it was her daughter or whoever was inside the room with the adult. She was like, Mommy, well, you know, he need help. He said he got asthma. I see his machine and, you know, he says he needs help. So I'm banging on the door. I'm banging on the door hard. Like, please, just give me some help. Please, I need some help. I'm finna die. I need to use my, I need to plug up my machine. Just let me plug up my machine. This my room, you know. And I was hearing her talk faster and more faster to the people downstairs at the front desk. So I see security coming up, the same security guard I seen when I was checking in, that I told if I need help, you know, to come up and he would come check on me. So he was like, you know, is everything going on? And I'm like, nah. So I'm getting short as a breath, and I fell to the floor, scratching the walls and beating on the walls and grabbing my chest tight as I could and kicking on the floor. And I was just telling him I'm about to die, and he was saying, you know, help is on the way, man. You know, we're gonna get you help. And you know, I didn't have no thoughts at the time of me actually just being dead and that was it for me. I just was saying that I'm finna die, and I seen a light, and I seen him fade out, and next thing you know, I woke up in the hospital.
The night that it happened, you know, me and Dub had separated. He was doing his own thing. I went and spent time with my mother, and that night he had called me, and I got a call from him, but I was you know, conversing with my mom, and anybody who knows my mom, she's a, you know, spiritual lady. So, you know, we was just having one of those conversations. And I had got a call. I didn't end up talking to him for a few hours. I called back because I thought he was at the studio. So I'm calling to check back to see, you know, okay, what you completed, what you worked on. I'm trying to hit a new, you know, the new tracks. And he didn't answer. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's still in the booth. Well, I get a call like 45 minutes later, and it was Princess. And for those who don't know, that's the mother of his kids, you know. So, I mean, I'm close-knit with his family, you know. I mean, I'm with him every day. She called me and she asked me, you know, what's going on? What happened? You know, what happened to Nardo is what she called him, you know. What happened to him? And I'm like, what you talking about? What's going on? And she was like, you not with him? And I'm like, nah, what's happening? What happened? And she was like, well, I got a call, you know, he's in the hospital. And that's all she had to say for me to know that I needed to get to him. So, you know, I made my way, you know, to find out where it was at. I'm calling hospitals. I'm calling, you know, nobody has a listing for, you know, Ronaldo Perry, nobody. And I'm like, well, how's he in the hospital? How are they calling? And nobody has a listing for him.
First, I woke up. I was in the bed with my girl, and I just happened to look on Facebook, and I seen, you know, Be Easy had a post saying that my prayers go out to S-Dub. So the first thing I did was I called Be Easy. I gave him my number in his inbox, and he called me and told me the situation. So I called A-Rod, and you know, I asked him about the situation. He said everybody is going to the hospital. So you know, my first instinct was, you know, Herb, you know, I still had on my clothes from the night before when I hosted. You know, I hosted a party the night before, so you know, I just came straight to the hospital.
I get on Facebook and I see S-Dub nephew, like, pray for my uncle and my family, this and that. So I hit him up like, well, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So he told me, yeah, man, he in the hospital. You know, they had to bring him back to life. I'm like, bring him back to life? Like, what the hell going on? So I called Dub. I think he had just woke up because he was kind of sleepy. He was like, yeah, man, you know, I'm in the hospital, and told me what name to come up under to go look for him. So
I got a call from the hospital about 12:30, and they told me to come over and see about him, get him checked in so they could do some work on him. So I got over there about 1 o'clock, and they told me about reason they had all these tubes running to him. Tubes was running down his throat and all to him and things. They were saying that he had a bad asthma attack and he wasn't breathing on his own.
I got numerous calls from my sister, which is his people, which I didn't answer, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's something else, but then I got the call from A-Rod, and I answered the phone, and I'm like, what's up? And he was telling me the situation. And then, so I called bruh, you know what I'm saying, TEEK of the week, which he, you know what I'm saying, he, you know, hit me with it. He think everything cool because it don't happen before. So, you know, I'm rolling with him. I'm like, well, you know, when you get to the hospital, call me. Which he didn't call me, but you know what I'm saying, I'm out bullshitting around, which I should have called and checked up anyway because TEEK be bullshitting, but so I really didn't get the news till that morning.
I went to the hospital like usual because he usually have asthma attacks because he usually try to smoke it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like normal people, you know what I mean? But we got there was a little bit more serious than average, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, they had the ventilator on him, you know what I'm saying? You know, ain't nobody never seen him on the tubes and all that, you know, he usually have, you know, the IVs, the normal stuff, you know what I'm saying? But you know, the ventilator was a little different, so it was a little bit serious than anybody was thinking really. And then even at the time, nobody was still thinking like, well, I wasn't anyway, because I know he was, you know, he's a strong dude. And we came through a lot of stuff, so. Man, you know,
I remember the night when I got the call. Rod called me roughly around 12:30 or so. 1 o'clock he got to my house. I'm kind of like surprised to hear that Dub is actually in the hospital. I just saw him a few hours earlier with my brother, so then here we go, rushing to the hospital. I don't even really know what I'm gonna really see. So the moment when I walk in the room, me and Rod walk into the room, well, here's Dub. He's actually laying there in the bed, and man, I mean, just to look at it, he had oxygen tanks and I mean everything. The doctors were talking in this corner about, you know, how much oxygen needs to get to his lungs. I'm looking at him, I'm watching the tube in his mouth, and the tube is feeding back the fluid back into everything. The machine is working his chest. I realized that. Then I know that this is a real situation.
Well, actually, my phone was turned off at the time when the actual incident happened. And when I got to the hospital, it was looking a lot better.
Now I'm getting calls. I got another call, and they said, you know, it was his breathing. You know, so I'm not really knowing at this point how serious the situation is, because I know it's serious because previous I was with him when I had to rush him to the hospital before, and I know how it was when he was fighting for his life that night. So, but I thought he had stabilized, you know, so I'm getting to the hospital, I'm like, okay, he's breathing, but they got him, you know, something he stabilized like the time before. Well, when I get to the hospital, they tell me he's in ICU, and I'm like, ICU?
So I got he's sitting up there with the cords and the wires and all that, and A-Rod was in there. A-Rod, his mama, Eric was in there. Eric called me, asked me what was going on, so I told him. As soon as I heard the phone with him, like 10, 15 minutes later, he at the hospital too, so the whole ETP was in there, fish kill, so.
It wasn't really like I was, you know, still at first like, oh, he gonna die, or, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was more so calm at first. Instead, they started talking intense. You know, it could be the last day, we got X amount of time. It could be on the machine a few days before. You know, that's kind of like coma talk. You know, people don't come back from comas. You know, a lot of people don't make it back from that. You know, it's just...
So, man, I just remember standing there thinking like, man, this can't be it. You know, everything that we fought for, everything that we're trying to do right now, I mean, is this gonna really be it? Is this gonna be him right here and no longer with us? I didn't really know how to take that. So me and TEEK and Rod, we stood there, we looked at the situation going, man, you know, everybody's trying to be optimistic, but then the doctor comes over to us and he says, well, you know, this is dead serious. You know, 1 out of every 10 make it in this. Well, unbeknownst to me, I ended up going outside. This is prior to this on the following day. That following night, we're looking at this whole thing, not really knowing what was going to happen. My brother had gotten shot himself, and it was a little prayer that I prayed, and I got to put this out there. I just said, Lord, I bring him before you. This is it. He's living, y'all. This is a true story. I mean, this man was awake the next day when I walked in the room, and they were telling me that night that they didn't even know if they could even stabilize him, and he may be sedated for a few days. I mean, so this was the situation.
So they went on to tell me about the reason he was out. He couldn't talk to me or say nothing. They had put him to sleep, so he would sleep and breathe through the machine. These big tubes they had put down for him to breathe in through, so that he wouldn't use up his oxygen until he got out where he could breathe on his own. That's why they had put him to sleep. So then he began to breathe kind of on his own about 5 o'clock that morning, and they were saying that they still was going to keep him on there a couple of hours more, and that's about it. They went on. I called them about 10 o'clock, and they said that he was breathing, you know, on his own pretty good, and they might would be taking him out the breathing tubes out of him and trying breathing on his own.
I get to the hospital, I get upstairs, and it's his grandmother there. his brother, a few other family members, and I'm looking at him, you know, and I mean, it was something to deal with, you know, especially being that I'm with him every day. Like it's nobody but me and him every day. And I figured, had I been there, this wouldn't have happened, you know? Because I'm looking at him, he's unresponsive. I mean, they got tubes everywhere. Tubes down his throat. He hooked up to all these machines. You know, the doctors is talking about, you know, this machine is keeping him alive, you know? So it was something to deal with, man, you know? It's like my brother, you know what I'm saying? So the doctor was telling us, you know, I mean, this is a serious case. I mean, we've seen where people don't wake up. He's out, he's not up, you know? So, you know, they telling us it could be 24, it could be 48 hours. It's really, you know, no point in y'all just sitting here looking at him, but, you know, you telling me that he could not wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? You know, it ain't processing, but I'm looking at him and he wasn't moving. You know, he wasn't responsive to anything we were saying, you know, touch, anything. You know, he wasn't responding to anything. So, his brother, you know, we sat there for some hours. I talked to his grandmother and she was just telling me that, you know, God always has a plan, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't meant for you to be with him. Because I know me, I would have did what I did the first time, which is rush him to the hospital, but learning the severity of it, you know, had I done that, he may not still be here. So, you know, I have to, you know, God has a plan and he knows, you know, what he's doing. And it wasn't meant for me to be there that night, apparently. You know, talked to his brother and, you know, he said he was gonna come back and, you know, I'm thinking 48 hours, but I'm knowing, okay, well, I'm just gonna come back tomorrow, you know, in the morning. And before I could get back, I got a call and he was like, you know, Dub is, you know, he's up. So that's when shoot back over there and, you know, I mean, he was getting the strength back and I knew he was gonna be all right. You know, I knew some changes had to definitely happen. But I knew he was gonna be all right.
At that point, you know, everybody kind of had an off. You know, it's like a critical situation. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody looking at each other kind of. You know what I mean? 'Cause, you know, our family like that. You know, we kind of tight-knit. You know what I'm saying? Me and him anyway. And then when I had no daddy, so we all we really got. So, you know, like I been telling them, you know, I believe in stuff like that. You know, people unconscious stuff like that, they can hear you talk. You know what I'm saying? That was, you know, one of my thoughts then. You know, like in the morning, yeah, homeboy, it's time for you to wake up. You know, get you some rest tonight, but in the morning, you need to get up. You know, it's gonna be time to go back to the crib soon. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's pretty much just like life-threatening, the situation in itself, you know, and it's a wake-up call for everybody because we're all in a situation that, you know, it's just serious, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's the severity, you know, in the situation that everybody wasn't really ready for, you know what I'm saying? The man could have left that day, really, you know what I'm saying, that fast, you know what I'm saying? We had just seen him, you know, just about everybody had just seen him moving around, like normal, like it go, you know what I mean? So, you know.
When I got there was like, the doctors and stuff said that he was pronounced dead for like 8 minutes. So I'm like, hey, okay, well, this shit really is serious. So the first thing people start saying, well, you gotta take care of yourself, now you gotta stop smoking and this and that. And so while we in the hospital the whole time, all he doing is telling the nurses, like, I gotta go to the studio, like I wanna leave tonight so I can go record this songs or whatever. So they was, nah, you gotta stay, we gotta monitor you for 24 hours and stuff like that. So I seen that, and he was a little disappointed about that because he had songs he wanted to record and whatnot. So, but the whole time, I was just thinking like, damn, like we lost this nigga, you know what I'm saying? So I had Cash P up on the phone. He texting me back like, yeah, man, it would have hurt us if we would lost him, and I love y'all niggas and shit like that. So I mean, I think that was like a wake up call for everybody. Like this shit serious as a motherfucker. So.
And after I went over there, after about 2 o'clock, when I got over there Sunday afternoon, they was telling him that he had done made so much progress and things. And that's the reason why they are fixing to admit him to a room, a private room, because he was in isolation all this time. He had been in there, so they put him in a room of his own.
And she actually was the first person that I felt, you know, holding my hand when I actually woke up off the hospital bed.
Yeah.
She was the first one that I seen my brother first, and she was the first person that held my hand, who I was able to actually reenact with when I woke up off the bed. So, you know, I know it was her prayers and, you know, her spirit and stuff would help me, you know, rise up as well.
Shit, he in the hospital bed singing and rapping and shit. So after he started singing, I'm like, all right, this nigga straight. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was a lot of shit. Like as soon as we put like pray for SW on Facebook and Twitter, like our phones would not stop ringing. Like text messages, Facebooks, tweets. People I ain't heard from in like a year calling, what going on with Too Sweet? Or what happened to Doug? Like what's going on? Like girl asking crazy shit. Like did he get shot? Like did somebody shoot him? Like nah, he didn't get shot, but you know what I'm saying? Can we come see him? Like I want to come see him. Do he need anything? And like do he need food, drinks, and all that? So I'm like, yeah, you can come see him. People run drinks, fruit, flowers, cards, balloons, all that shit. Like it was crazy as fuck. Like the whole day we all in the hospital, our phones plugged up charging because it was just going dead from like tweets, Facebook. Like I had over 200 comments, 500 likes. It was just going crazy, and you know what I'm saying?
It's a deep situation. It really been, you know, the most asthma attack, or you know, at the same time, that's a real disease. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, you know, that you play with it because it's a real disease. People die from it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Asthma, bronchitis. You know, it sounds simple. You know, a lot of people, like you said, you know, like, you know, one in a few people would have made it through that situation. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we start counting around the room to how many people in here, and, you know, some of us could be going off the same situation, the numbers in it. And, you know, this is a real situation.
So, when I woke up, the same light that I saw before I faded out was the same light that I saw when I woke up, and my brother was the first one that I saw. So I had to stand and look around for a minute, like to say, you know, okay, I noticed my brother, he didn't die with me. I know, like, I'm thinking, like, I know he ain't dead too. And then I see, you know, the doctors around, but, you know, as I blank out, I'm still confused at this point. So, you know, my brother look at me like, you all right, you good? And once I was able to speak to him back, I said, yeah, I'm good. He was like, yeah, man, you good, you know, well, you made it through. And so, you know, that kind of let me know that I was still here. So, you know, it was just a blessing, man. Everybody that was at the hospital, you know, that came and seen me, you know, I remember seeing Eric and my partner A-Rod and B-Easy and my grandmother and my brother. He was with his people, and my mom, my sisters, everybody that came to the hospital. I mean, it was so many people there. It was crazy, you know what I'm saying? But you know, when I woke up, it was mainly just it was it was revealing to me that I was actually still here, and people was like, you was gone for 8 minutes. They had changed your name, you know, cause by this time they had put me under alias, which I still have it in my wallet, cause I keep stuff like that. This was the same. This actually was the same wristband that I had on in the hospital, and see, this is the one before. You know, you see, this is 2 months before when I was in intensive care for the same situation, and this is the latest one. That's the first one from 2 months before I was in intensive care, and this is the same wristband that I had on. You know, I call it 8 minutes of death because my heart stopped for 8 minutes. For those who really don't, you know the story of what actually really happened, my heart there stopped for 8 minutes, and I stopped breathing, and through the good spirit of God, you know, He put His hand on me and lifted me, and like I say, man, He kept me here, and I'm still just blessed, and I'm so thankful that He kept me in this situation. And as you can see on here, it's Mr. Virginia. That was the alias name that they gave me, because, you know, my family and friends and people, they was coming to see me, and they was asking for my real name, like, you know, we here to see Renardo Perry, and it was like, we don't got no Renardo Perry. You know, so they had marked me gone, like, you know, I was out of there. So, you know, that was the alias name that they gave me. So I just keep stuff like that for memories. I went and made these dog tags actually off of all the situations that went on with me as far as me being shot 6 times, and, you know, the intensive care the first time, and, you know, the situation what happened now. So, you know, I want to give a special thanks to all the people that came and visited me at the hospital, all the people that left their prayers with me, their concerns, all my Twitter friends, my Instagram friends, my Facebook followers, everybody, man, family, and the pastors at my church. My grandmother told me it was pastors and preachers praying for me all the way in Atlanta. You know, everybody that just came through, man, and graced their spirit, and you know, let me know that they do care. You know, I want you to know from right here, I mean, you know, the bottom of my heart, and the air that I am breathing now, that I really do appreciate it. This is no gimmick. I'm not telling you a fake story, like, you know, it was 8 minutes of death. I clocked out for 8 minutes, and I came back, you know what I'm saying? And this won't be the last time you hear from me. Like, I will not stop from here. It won't stop from here. Greatest is back, and I'm here for a reason. I'm here to for this purpose that God got me here for, and that I know He kept me in this world for. So, you know, I'm following them footsteps, and I'm following His lead, and I will continue doing greatest work, and I will continue being who I am. And you know, I want to thank everybody out there once again, you know, and I hope people can see this interview and take consideration of you know, my situation. And, you know, I'm smoke free now, you know, so, you know, it's a good thing, you know, that I'm getting prepared for my journey, and whatever plans that He got for me for being in this world, man. Like I say, I want to thank everybody out there, man. I salute y'all, and I love you from dearly in my heart for your prayers, because your prayers was a lot what kept me in it too. I know it was God, but through the prayers and the blessings, it kept me in a lot too, because I know I had a lot of people in my corner that was praying for me, a lot of people that showed their face. And I thank you, man. Greatest. Mom, Grandma, we gonna have to do a documentary. You give them your side, you give them your side, I give them my side, Letty give his side.
No, I ain't gonna sweeten it up.
You can't sweeten it up when it's a documentary.
Mama be sweetening that stuff up on there. I be telling you just like it is. Breathe. I need to quit everything. You know, almost, you know, dying to book twice.
You be eating my food.
So people come in and really gotta know like this people in rap, man. This ain't just no like music. Everybody was shot up, he was stabbed up, both.
I'm glad my phone is
I used to get beat up.
Letty been shot 2 times.
They talking about
on
he's
the
on the
same
license
street.
point and everything. Yeah. This came from
Stuff like that.
You know that was supposed to
So how long you was gone?
I was gone for a while.
They say it was an African dude. They say he died, what, 7-8 minutes? Mm-hmm. Looking at that.
I probably pulled one of them moves, 7-8 minutes, came back.
You don't remember that?
They say he was dead. That's why they named me Miss Virginia, Mr. Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They put me under alias because they was finna pronounce me dead. That's what she came and told me. Yeah, we pronounce you dead. She said, I don't know what you think. This is serious. Do you know where you at? You in ICU.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wasn't even breathing on your own last night. You wasn't breathing. You wasn't breathing. It was oxygen. They should have got pictures of that. They said it was oxygen, tubes, everything all down my throat, face scrapped up everywhere.
I ain't want no picture of that.
Last thing I remember was falling out by the door. First face I woke up and seeing my brother.